It's October 1, Nigeria's 61st independence anniversary, and wherever you're watching from around the world, this is Galaxy TV News. Let's get things started. As Nigeria marks her 61st independence anniversary, President Muhammadu Buhari directs conditional lifting of the ban placed on microblogging site Twitter. Plus on the news, residents here in Lagos stage protests against insecurity and hike in prices of food, electricity tariff, among others. And outside Nigeria, a fire in Romania kills at least 9 people, marking the third deadly incident at healthcare facilities in the country in less than a year. Those are our top stories. We have details in just a moment. And now, wherever you're watching from around the world, we're live from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. I am Kelly Egiga. On our first story, President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday said he had directed a conditional lifting of the ban placed on the operations of the microblogging site Twitter in Nigeria in June this year. Buhari disclosed this in his nationwide broadcast to Nigerians to mark the nation's 61st independence. He described the social media as a very useful platform, but regretted that some users have misused the platform to organize, coordinate and execute criminal activities, as well as propagate fake news and promote ethnic and religious sentiment.
The federal government of Nigeria suspended the operation of Twitter in Nigeria on June 5, 2021 to allow the government to put measures in place to address these challenges. The committee, along with its technical team, has engaged with Twitter and have addressed a number of key issues. These are A, national security and cohesion; B, registration, physical presence and representation; C, fair taxation; D, dispute resolution; and E, local content.
Meanwhile, the president said a member of the National Assembly is among high-profile individuals sponsoring leaders of secessionist groups in the country. However, did not reveal the identity of the lawmaker, neither did he say if the individual is a member of the Senate or House of Representatives.
The recent arrests of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Adeyemo and the ongoing investigations being conducted have revealed certain high-profile financiers behind these individuals. We are vigorously pursuing these financiers, including one identified as a serving member of the National Assembly. Fellow Nigerians, this is a clear example of how people abandon their national leadership positions for their selfish gains.
Meanwhile, former military head of state, General Abdulsalam Abubakar, and the immediate past president, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, on Friday joined President Muhammadu Buhari to celebrate the nation's 61st independence anniversary. But 3 former president, Generals Olusegun Obasanjo, Ibrahim Babangida, popularly known as IBB, and Yakubu Gowon were absent at the Eagle Square, the venue of the event. Other prominent persons that graced the occasion were Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, the President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Ibrahim Tanko, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa. Now, after the national anthem, the President, who was the special guest of honor, inspected the guards, which was immediately followed by march past by the armed forces and the police in slow and quick time. Highlights of the ceremony was the signing of the anniversary register by the President and the firing of 21 artillery volleys. Away from the nation's capital, leaders of the Christian and Muslim faith in Benue State have called on Nigerians to pray for the sustenance of peace and unity of Nigeria. This was revealed at the interdenominational church service to commemorate Nigeria 61, held at the Chapel of Grace and organized by the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, in Makurdi. Governor Samuel Otom, while speaking to newsmen, says the present crop of leaders in Nigeria have failed as there is nothing to celebrate. While Benue chairman of CAN, Reverend Augustine Akpen-Leva, says Nigerians must continue to pray for its leaders.
We cannot celebrate everything. Is it the economy? Close to 600 naira per dollar? Is it what? What are we celebrating? We have nothing to celebrate as a people. We leaders have failed. We leaders, we have failed this country. Sycophants, mediocres are the ones who are reigning. They have taken over. Corruption have taken over this country in every sphere of life.
As a nation, we thank God because we are alive to see this day. However, my message to Nigerians is that our hope is only in God. It is only God that can fix this nation. Therefore, I want to urge everybody to pray for this nation because this nation is in disarray.
In a separate occasion, the Muslim leaders in Benue State also converged at the state central mosque, Makurdi, where they admonished Muslim faithful to continue praying for the peace and unity of the country.
There's a silver line coming in the open. Nigeria will come out of this crisis. As I mentioned, even the developed nations, they have passed through one crisis or another.
Thank God. We have to thank God because when you heard what is happening for some country, it's very, very terrible. We have to thank God. We have to continue good prayer to our leaders.
The main reason why we have to be grateful and thankful to Almighty God, the plan against this country was not a small thing. If anybody tell you, say, this country will exist to this 61 years, you will never believe it.
In Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, Governor Dapo Abiodun has urged Nigerians to be united against its current challenges with optimism that Nigeria will overcome all its obstacles. Abiodun reaffirmed this while delivering his Independence Day speech at the MKO Abiola Stadium, Kuto, Abeokuta, the state capital. The governor affirmed that Nigerians should collectively fight those ills that had shackled and held the country back in the past. He also noted that government must provide the requisite policy framework and chapter of engagement for the people to harness their potentials.
That is not just a vote-catching phrase, but a deliberately conceived and faithfully implemented program of action premised on inclusiveness, fairness, justice, equity, transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. We have committed ourselves to these values in the last 2 years and 4 months. And I want to assure our people that we will remain consistent and committed to these values.
Let's take you to Oyo State, where Governor Seyi Makinde has appealed to the people to eschew all forms of ethnic and religious disunity, but should work together as one for peace and progress. The governor, in his remarks at the event held at the Leko Salami Stadium in Ibadan to celebrate the anniversary, stressed the need for peace, especially in the northern part of the country. Correspondent Kunlojo reports that the governor was represented by the secretary to the state government, Olubamiwo Adeosun, at the event attended by government functionaries, service chiefs in the state's traditional rulers, students from private and public schools, youth organizations, among others.
We thank God for improved security in our state and continue to ask you that together, let's work together continuously to make our security situation always under control.
Now in Imo State, the government and people of the state came out to mark Nigeria's independence despite threats by the IPOB leadership that no Nigerian flag should be raised in the southeast zone. The celebration, which had low turnout, witnessed a parade by the Nigerian Armed Forces, the police and civil defense. In his remarks, Governor Hope Uzodinma urged residents to reflect on the need for unity and allow peace reign in the state to enable government to deliver the dividends of democracy.
The free and post-independence agreements for a united Federal Republic of Nigeria must be reformed in the present generation of leaders. We must make concerted efforts to build on the sacrifices of our forebears and the blood of our heroes past, to bequeath to the next generation a vibrant, united, and democratic Nigeria, where justice and equity are the unassailable bedrock for nationhood.
Security chiefs in the states and other stakeholders expressed hope that challenges in the states can be solved with collective efforts.
To give out maximum security and protection to the public who wants to go and celebrate his independence. We are ready to give him protection.
Happy 61st Independence Anniversary celebration. I want to advise the good people of Imo State that dangers of drug abuse are enormous. We should stay away from it.
Imbibe the positive virtues and attitudes that promote a nation and remain steadfast. While wishing Nigerians a happy 61st Independence Anniversary, I urge all the Imolites who are yet to take the Proverbs First Nation to do so, and also adhere strictly to COVID-19 preventive measures.
You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. Let's take a breather, but in the second part of our news package, residents here in Lagos have staged a protest against insecurity and hike in prices of food and electricity tariff. We'll tell you more on those stories in just a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome back. This is Galaxy TV News. Now, for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Galaxy TV Nigeria. You can follow or interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Galaxy TV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Official Galaxy TV. If you have breaking news around you, you can avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. Simply share a story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818 666 669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your life update and comment. Now, as Nigeria celebrates her 61st independence anniversary, residents of Lagos State staged a protest against insecurity, arrest of critics, and hike in prices of food, electricity tariff, among others. Rebami Salako was there and tells us more in this report.
The 61st independence anniversary of Nigeria was met with agitation from citizens chanting solidarity, protesting the poor standard of living in the country, poverty, the hike in prices of food and electricity tariff, which is affecting small-scale business owners, the arrest of activists, critics and protesters. They also chanted for the resignation of President Buhari.
Well, the truth of the matter is that the people of Nigeria have been subjugated for too long. They've been cheated for too long. They've been dehumanized for too long. And what we have at best is not leadership. What we have at best is a system that perpetuates terrible and evil people in power. It's a system that encourages corruption and impunity. It's a system that encourages mismanagement and sheer terrible governance.
He has failed to guarantee welfare of Nigerians everywhere people are hungry. Nigeria today is the headquarters of poverty. Nigeria today is the third most terrorized country in the world. What other initiatives do you need before you can conclude that this is a failed regime?
This government has failed us. There's a promise of change in 2015. Up to now, in respect of infrastructure, in respect of insecurity, in respect of economy, there's a lot of things that is happening. You too can testify to it. This is a government of nepotism. This is a government of tribalism. This is a government of statism. So we are outside here at Nigeria 61. There's no light, no electricity. There's no good road. There's no food. Nigeria's youth are working. There's no work. So our message today at Nigeria 61 is we want Buhari to go.
The major demand of this protest is unconditional release of every detained activist, and it does not stop there. Another demand is reverse electricity tariff. Electricity tariff is making the small-scale enterprises, all the small businesses are shutting down because it takes electricity to produce.
I'm over 51 years old. I don't have anything to celebrate as at this age. Can you understand it? But we thank God. If you are alive, say you still thank God. This is our own country, so we need a change. We are begging them.
Despite much lamentation about the state of Nigeria at 61, a public affairs analyst views the state of Nigeria in an entirely different light. It was opined that the citizens have much to do with the current state of the country, and some part of the solution lies with the citizens and state government, which has nothing to do with the presidency.
We are so unpatriotic. Our patriotism is so low. We don't speak anything good about the country. We only prefer the bad news. If today you hear that Nigerian army killed 1,000 Boko Haram, it's a lie. Where is the body? It's a lie. They are lying. If you hear today that Boko Haram killed 10 army men, you will tweet that, they will retweet. What an unpatriotic set of people are we? And you expect the country to become good overnight when you're not patriotic? I love Nigeria. I'm passionate about Nigeria. And I keep every day, my prayer is God bless Nigeria. If you go to maybe a departmental store and you find a bottle of soft drink in Lagos, it's the same price you find it in Kano or in Port Harcourt. Why? Because they know what is called social responsibility. But the average Nigerian will tell you, when a yam travels from Boko, where he sells 200 naira, and by the time he gets to Lagos, and it becomes 1,000 naira, they'll tell you, what's the price? Transport now. No reason. So we have that problem. Middlemen are killing deep. Today we are giving every excuses. If yam is expensive, you ask in the market, herdsmen. If Gary is expensive, herdsmen. We look for cheap excuses to justify our irrationality. And that's the pain of the country. And we blame government. Yes, government have its own role. Government has a big role to play, which, as far as I'm concerned, they are not playing it. And sometimes when we want to blame government, we only look at Abuja. We don't blame our governors that are responsible for food production. It's not Abuja, it's our government, because the land belongs to the governors. Food production at local government level.
As Nigeria celebrates our 61st anniversary of independence, apparently a lot of things are not going on well, and the citizens are lamenting. But it is their hope that one day Nigeria will become a country where we are all proud to call our country. Ireba Misalako, Galaxy TV News, Lagos.
In the meantime, the federal government has called on the Nigerian youth to make responsible use of social media as a veritable tool for national unity. Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, made the call at an ICT summit organized by the National Youth Council of Nigeria held in Abuja. The minister frowned at the impact of negative usage of the social media, noting that Nigeria would be a better place if social media is used to disseminate informative and educative content. He advised the youth not to use social media to spread fake news, misinformation, and disinformation.
The title of this particular summit is a wonderful title, ICT. When you talk about ICT or social media, you're talking about a platform. And what is the platform all about? You're talking about a platform for communication, a platform for interaction. And it is a global platform. Wherever you are, through the social media, you can reach a whole lot of people.
We all are aware that the social media, being a computer-based technology, helps to facilitate the sharing of ideas, thoughts, and information through the building of virtual networks and communities, and has had monumental impact on societies worldwide.
Organizers of the event described the use of social media to spread falsehood as unfortunate, while calling on young Nigerians to leverage technology to empower themselves.
Therefore, we will continue to promote social media for the good use. We shall also continue to harness its capacity to mobilize across tribal and religion cohesion and even age coverage to provide a united and strong country.
It is of great advantage because if you look at it, the barrier of time, the barrier of risk, and so many other barriers have now been cut short with the introduction of ICT and social media. But the question is, how have we been using this platform in this part of the world? And this is the more reason why we decided to convene this summit.
Meanwhile, the independence anniversary was in a low key in Akure, the Ondo State capital. The state government did not organize any program to mark the day, while some residents kept vigils at religious centers to pray for the country's well-being. However, a former presidential aspirant under the platform of Alliance for New Nigeria, Wilson Ikubwese, said Nigeria is still crawling at 61. Said this year's celebration calls for sober reflection in view of the various security and economic challenges facing the country.
Collectively as a nation, we haven't fared well at all. I think the past couple of months has been the worst we've ever experienced as a nation. And looking at where we're coming from and where we are today, not too many people will be proud to call themselves Nigerians.
Now, a Catholic priest and director of communications of Makurdi Diocese, Reverend Father Moses Airopayu, has called on youths to reevaluate themselves, develop their potential, and foster ways of repositioning Nigeria from collapse. Father Moses says Nigeria can take a positive turn if youths take the next election seriously to determine their preferred leader, as this can only be done through active participation in the 2023 elections. A lawmaker representing Makurdi South State Constituency and the Benue State House of Assembly observed that Nigeria is at the brink of collapse on account of needless insecurity, tribal and ethnic challenges.
A country where there is no respect for the dignity of man, the dignity of the citizen, it's more like a banana republic. But there is hope because individuals, civil organizations, who have the courage must engage, with the people, no matter what you are doing.
We have never been divided in this country the way we are divided at Nigeria 60. Nigerians, the insecurity we are facing now, we've never faced it as a people. Take the civil war out, Nigerians have never faced this insecurity in the country. Be it from the north, is it Boko Haram, is it bandits, is it an unknown gunman, is it Fulani herdsmen? Every part of the country is faced with this level of insecurity.
Meanwhile, the Catholic priest sues for Nigerians to imbibe community spirit of helping one another and trust God in all their daily affairs.
What we need is, good citizens are formed. They are not made. So we don't expect that we will certainly become good citizens without forming ourselves. And you know, this desire to conquer, to kill, so that you will possess what belongs to, you know, to the whole nation, to every Nigerian, our common patrimony and the common goods that we all need to share.
At 61, Nigeria has come a long way. For a democracy, for a nation to be 61 years old, we do agree that we have had our own upheavals. We have had our own ups and downs as a nation. But the journey to stardom doesn't start in one day. It doesn't end up in one day. You begin and you have a lot of rumblings on the way, but eventually you are moving on. I think that is what Nigeria has found herself in today.
Now to other stories, governors in Nigeria have been employed to adopt the strategy used by Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State in tackling insecurity in his state for the country at large. Religious leaders and stakeholders of Ilori Emirate in Kwara State made the call at the sideline of a symposium against insecurity convened by religious leaders in the ancient town. The conference was tagged Rise Against Insecurity in Nigeria, Reign. Delivering the keynote address, Dr. Mohammed Gambari of the Department of Religious Studies, University of Ilori, said the prayer for the country was part of activities marking the independence anniversary. He said everyone must come together to fight and liberate Nigeria from the hands of aliens who have turned to blood-sucking demons. The guest speaker, Director Academic Planning, Kwara College of Education, Dr. Hadi Moshood Atanda, said a leader like Governor Bello must be given a chance to lead the country come 2023, adding that he has the capacity to lead effectively. Now, ace Nollywood actor Adebayo Salami said the program was imperative at this point in time because of the rising insecurity. He called on everyone to make the fight against insecurity their business.
This fight cannot be left in the hand of the government. We must all come together to fight and liberate our country from the hand of aliens who have turned to blood-sucking demons. I want to single out the governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, for a strategy of involving all indigenes in the fight against insecurity.
As we are approaching 2023, we are going to look for somebody who is going to be at the helm of affairs, who is going to be in control of the situation, somebody who is agile, somebody who is able. And I don't have any other person in mind than the youngest governor in Nigeria today, and that is Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State. He has what it takes to take Nigeria out of this problem. If we pull our resources together, rally around him, I think we can solve Nigerian problems.
Let me say, we are not safe in this country anymore. I must daily confess, and we are praying day and night for us to be safe. What I want to advise, especially we here, we have to be vigilant. We have to be vigilant. Both home, on the road, in your working place, wherever you are, you must be very, very vigilant. If you see this, please call the attention of the security operators so they can rescue us.
Now, as the race to the 2023 general elections begins to gather steam, Nigerians have been admonished to elect intelligent people that have the interests of Nigerians at heart into leadership position. This call was made known by the senior pastor, Victory Life Bible Church, Apostle Lawrence Achudume, in his chat with newsmen at the 2021 Independence Day prayer walk in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Now, speaking on what necessitated the walk, the clergyman said that despite the challenges confronting the country, with prayers, a better Nigeria is assured. He added that irrespective of the wishes of some people, Nigeria will be a great nation. In his Independence Day message to Nigerians, the clergyman said Nigerians should look out for people that will develop Nigeria. He however called for an enabling environment where entrepreneurs can thrive.
The street to declare that the siege is over in Nigeria. We're on the street to declare peace, to declare that we are not dogs that eat dogs, but we're human beings that have compassion one for another, that love themselves. We're here to declare that the expectations and the wishes of God for our nation will come to pass, not the expectations of the wicked. That is why we are on the street today.
In the same vein, an elder statesman and senior advocate of Nigeria, Utaz Yunus, has called for the termination of electoral tribunal in the country. The senior advocate of Nigeria, who had a chat with our correspondent in Kaduna, says politicians have bastardized the essence of the tribunal and usually will bribe the tribunal in billions of naira, which is difficult for most of them not to be compromised. He said even though the judiciary has come a long way in the protection of rights of individuals, citing an example of Zamfara and other states, there was need for the electoral tribunal to be completely abolished.
One of our greatest failures is this setting up of election tribunals. Our greatest. I regret it. I suggested it then. Forgive me. I didn't know it would turn out this way. Our politicians have destroyed our tribunals, and it is most unfortunate, particularly at the trial level.
The elder statesman adds that the greatest problem the country is faced with is that nobody is ready to speak the truth. He therefore appeals to politicians to remember the law of karma as they govern the country.
The greatest problem we have in this country is that nobody is ready to tell the truth. Everybody is afraid of death. Whether you're afraid or not, you die. In fact, it is better for you to be killed than for you to die without expressing the justice that is inbuilt in any human being. Particularly most of our governors. The law of karma can never leave anybody.
And now, Ondo State's Governor Rotimi Akeredolu has granted state pardon to 18 convicted inmates of the correctional centers in the state. The governor also committed to life imprisonment 26 other inmates on death row. In a statement signed by the Chief Press Secretary to the governor, Richard Olatunde, said the gesture by the governor was made in commemoration of this year's independence anniversary. The convicts were released having shown remorse and are of good conduct at the correctional centers, according to the statement. And now to other stories. Remains of veteran broadcaster and sound engineer Sylvester Odebi has been laid to rest in Abeokuta, Lagos State capital amid glowing tribute. Odebi had previously worked in major broadcast stations, including Galaxy Television, where he supervised audiovisuals and telecommunications installations. Our correspondent John Felix reports.
The final journey of engineer Sylvester Odebi to Mother Earth commenced with a wake-keep and an evening of tributes. From Bible reading to the sections of tribute, the atmosphere showed the successful broadcaster lived a fulfilled life, laced with great impact to many who came in contact with him. On Friday, all road led to the Anglican Church of Pentecost, Oke-Ibukun, Ashero, for the funeral service. In his message, the priest in charge, Anglican Church of Pentecost, Reverend John Shutadi, urged Nigerians to be humble, God-fearing, as well as live a life of dedication just like engineer Odebi lived.
But do not wait till you need to be voted for. Start doing good. Can some of us forget the seriousness Baba Odebi impacted in us? And he went further to say, Baba, thank you for being part of my success story today. Baba Odebi was a teacher who taught us the importance of hard work.
Late engineer Odebi, as a family man, loved his children affectionately. His children pay glowing tributes about him.
He's a pleasant dad. We We love him so much. He has very sweet relationship with all his kids. He's a sweet person. He has children, biological, and by extension, he has lots of kids that he extends love to. He's a sweet person. He's a darling. I love him too much. We all love him, but I think I love him in a different way.
I'll miss his visit. He comes often to my house in Ibadan. We normally have good times together. Anytime he comes to Galaxy Television, I'm always like, you have to stay over in my house. I don't want you sleeping over at the studio. He will tell me, okay, I will tell him, just come, I'll cook for you, I'll do your favorite fish. He will tell me, okay, I'll come over. So I'm going to miss his visit. Anytime he comes around, my kids are always very free with him. They go out together, buy things together, and I'm going to miss his call.
The children also say there are lessons that can be learned from their late father. One among many is late Odebi's dedication to duty.
For him, he's not one person that will judge you. He's not one person that will, he will scold you, but in a very loving way. He has his ways of dealing with all of us, and as kids, you know, we have different characters and all, but my dad made sure that he balanced it all. He balanced it. He loved us. He's an extension of love. So around him, you don't feel out of place.
He likes to give. He likes to make impact in people's life. He's someone that does not cheat. That is one thing I admire about my dad. He doesn't cheat. He would, when I tell him that, charge these people now, he will tell you no. This is what I want to collect from them. He does his work affectionately. Anytime I tell him that, why would you sleep in the studio? Where do you want to sleep there? He will tell me, don't worry, I'll be fine. I have to get this work done. It must be perfect. So I'm going to miss his perfection. I'm going to miss his dedication. I'm going to miss his love.
At 84 years, it's indeed a celebration of an icon who lived a fulfilled life. Late engineer Sylvester Odebi is survived by his wife, children, grandchildren, and in-laws. From Abeokuta, the state capital, John Felix reporting for Galaxy Television News.
Well, indeed, our thoughts, prayers, and condolences with the Odebi family. And while it was all tears, the Abonde family house of the late Chief Superintendent of Police, Sumono Abonde in Ibadan, as his remains were laid to rest. The late Chief Superintendent of Police was hacked to death by unidentified persons during a clash between the police and motorcycle riders. Correspondent Kunlojo reports that his remains were brought to Ibadan from Lagos State in a motorcade led by Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of operations in Lagos State, Ahmed Kontagora, while family members of the deceased and neighbors could not hold back their emotions. Kontagora described the deceased as a diligent officer who was always at the forefront of combating crimes, while the senior brother to the deceased, Kehinde, said the death of Sumono remains a great loss to the family.
Police officers from the command said it all. Abonde was a very diligent officer, very dedicated and disciplined officer. In fact, he is always in the front line in the fight against crime and criminality in Lagos State. Always in the front line. We actually missed him and we pray for the repose of his soul.
I felt very, very so bad when I heard of the incident. It was my junior sister that's just interviewed now that informed me. And I said, what is the urgent call? I spoke with him yesterday. And then I told him about my birthday. He told me that when it is time, I should let him know.
Meanwhile, officers from the Lagos State Police Command later paid their last respects to their departed colleague. Now, operatives of the Ogun State Police Command have arrested a 52-year-old man, Adebayo Akinrinoye, for allegedly defiling his 16-year-old daughter. The suspect was arrested in Agbado area of Ifo, local government area of the state. The police public relations officer of the command, Abimbola Oyemi, who disclosed this to journalists on Friday, said the suspect was arrested following a petition written by the victim to the police in Agbado Divisional Headquarters. Now, the victim alleged that her father had been sexually abusing her since when she was 14 years old. The victim added that all efforts to stop her father from the act fell on deaf ears. Now, a group under the aegis of Talakawa's Parliament and indigents of Ufugboku community in Ovie local northeast local government area of Edo State have protested across major streets in Benin City to press home their demands and appeal to the Oba of Benin and the state governor, Godwin Obaseki, to allow the completion of the donated health care project in the community. The protesters said the only hospital project that is being built by one of the indigents to help save lives in their communities have been put on hold by the state government. Now, speaking to newsmen, the president of the group, Kola Depai, and a youth leader said the government should encourage individuals who are willing to invest in their communities.
People like Dr. Osaze Worie should not be frustrated because it will serve as deterrent to others that wants to peregrinate from diaspora to Edo State to invest. Government is seen to be encouraging investors.
We don't have Bueho, we don't have market, we don't have primary school, we don't have hospital. So as they came to come and build hospital, first person who give us Bueho in Ugboku community, if we want to deliver, before we rush it to the Okada or rush it to the UPTH, sometimes we give up.
Now, stakeholders working in the aviation industry have been urged to imbibe the culture of safety consciousness in their day-to-day operations and activities around the airport. The charge is coming in the wake of the ongoing nationwide Safety Week activities across all airports of the country. At the Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport in Owerri, aviation experts and other stakeholders led by the head of safety, Suto Onoha, supported by the airport manager, were seen taking active part in the Safety Week activities for the year 2021.
Yes, the significant benefit of this is for us to be conscious of our environment. So if you see a FOD, if you see a foreign object deposit, depending on the area, if it's a foreign object debris, so what do? You pick it up and put it in the right place.
Once an aircraft is coming, we have our hazard control, they go to the runway, they make sure there's no wildlife, that's any bird or animal. We have our operations department, they go to the runway, they pick anything they see. So we make sure that our airport, Sam Mbakwe International Cargo Airport, it is free of FOD and ensures safety for aircraft operations. Yes.
Now, as the Independent Electoral Commission INEC prepares for the second phase of voters registration, electoral and registration officers of the commission have been cautioned against the antics of politicians who may want to hijack the process. The resident electoral commissioner in Oyo State, Mutu Agboke, while addressing the officers, urged the electoral and registration officers to conduct the exercise in line with the guidelines released by the commission. While reviewing the first phase of the exercise, the resident electoral commissioner declared that the second phase would commence on Monday, October 4th, 2021, promising that new facilities would be deployed to enhance the process.
So my point is that we have never, asked you to close office below the period we have designated for. So the period of registration is 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please note that. So please, the rule of engagement in this exercise is that no machine should move out of the local government.
Now, the Federation of Tourism Association of Nigeria says tourism is the best alternative to oil as Nigeria seeks to diversify its economy. The president of the union, Nkeruwem Onong, said this in Kaduna at the official inauguration of the Northwest Zone's officials. Now, further questions from newsmen, the Kaduna State Commissioner for Business and Innovation, Idris Yam, calls on government at all levels to tap from tourism as it can help improve their internally generated revenue. Meanwhile, Prince Ayodele, who spoke on behalf of the newly inaugurated Northwest State Coordinator, says it is time to bring in talented and innovative people in the business of tourism so as to develop the sector.
First of all, is to commend the government of the governments of the Northwest Zone in their effort to cope with security and to protect lives and property. We need to keep commending them, and we believe that tourism can be done in spite of insecurity. You know, insecurity has come to be the second pandemic.
Tourism develops to the GDP in no small means. It's been a sector that's not been very active, but right now as it is, it's being given that extra boost to bring out. What I'm saying is we're here today to ensure we unleash the economic powers in tourism.
I would say we are just crawling. We're not actually walking now, because you mentioned Kenya, they have gone beyond where we are. But I believe with EFTA innovation, and currently with our able president on board, you can see they are very serious about this and they are engaging the federal government. So therefore, the federation is engaging the federal government for any tourism appointment, even the state. We're going to start talking about tourist expert to occupy, because the content of tourism is beyond just rhetoric or mere language.
You're watching the news on Galaxy TV. It's now time to switch gears for a moment as we join our international desk for more stories.
Welcome to news from the international scene. Starting from Europe, a fire at a hospital in Romania has killed at least 9 people, according to local authorities, marking the third deadly incident at healthcare facilities in the country in less than a year. Firefighters extinguished the blaze at the hospital in the southeastern port city of Constanta shortly before 11 a.m. local time on Friday, having brought in additional teams from nearby countries. The cause of the fire is not yet known. Video footage showed patients jumping out of the window from the hospital's lower level and firefighters carrying people out. Emergency response teams installed a mobile triage unit near the site while dozens of patients were evacuated and transferred to other hospitals. Romania, a European Union country of 19 million, has experienced 2 other deadly hospital fires in the past 12 months, raising concern about its healthcare facilities. In January, a fire killed 5 patients at a COVID-19 hospital in the capital, Bucharest. 2 months earlier, 10 people died in a blaze at an intensive care unit at the northeastern Piatra Neamt Country Hospital. The country has one of the European Union's least developed healthcare infrastructures. Meanwhile, authorities are grappling with a record surge in COVID-19 infections nationwide. The number of cases in Romania has reached 12,032 on Thursday, a new high. Intensive care units across the country are reportedly running out of space. Belarus' most prominent human rights group said on Friday that some 100 people have been detained in the wake of shooting that left an opposition supporter and a security officer dead. The Viesna Human Rights Center said the arrest took place in the capital Minsk and 7 other cities and appeared to be connected to comments made on social media about the incident. It said those arrested faced charges of insulting government officials and inciting social enmity, which carry a sentence of up to 12 years in prison. Belarusian authorities reported the incident on Tuesday night, alleging that an especially dangerous criminal opened fire on security officers after they showed up at his apartment looking for individuals involved in terrorist activities. Authorities said one of the officers of the Belarus State Security, or KGB, was killed and the perpetrator was killed by return fire. The ministry did not provide any reasons for the decision to block the website, which is visited by some 20,000 users daily, but access to it was restricted several hours after it ran a story about the shootings, which featured a comment from the dead civilian's friend, who described himself in a positive light. Still on the international scene, moving on to United States, U.S. President Joe Biden has suffered a setback after Congress delayed a vote on $1 trillion infrastructure plan. Part of his Democratic Party refuses to move forward with the plan until Congress sign off a separate $3.5 trillion plan on warfare and climate change. The plan is at the heart of the party's agenda for government and passion are high among its liberal and centrist wings. Centrists want to scale the legislation back radically. The $1 trillion public works bill, which would apply to routine transportation, broadband, water system and other projects, enjoy wide support, but Liberal Democrats are linking it to their more ambitious warfare and climate change bill. The bill would raise taxes on corporations and the rich, investing the revenue in a broad array of social programs, including early childhood education, universal preschool, government-funded 2 years college education, paid family and medical leave, and expansion of government health insurance and environmental spending. President Biden and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi have been trying to reconcile the liberals with the centrists. The House will be back in session on Friday when efforts to push through the bill will resume.
And now to end the news, let's join the entertainment desk.
Welcome to Entertainment News. In the mood of celebration, President Muhammadu Buhari, during his Independence Day speech today, gave conditions for Twitter ban to be lifted. Buhari said a presidential committee, which was constituted to engage Twitter to explore the possibilities of resolving the issue, addressed a number of key issues, which includes the national security and cohesion, registration, physical presence and representation, fair taxation, dispute resolution, and local content. He added that the issues are being addressed and he has directed that the suspension be lifted if these conditions are met. Meanwhile, protesters took to the street of Abuja early on Nigeria's 61st Independent Day to demand that Buhari must go. They stormed the Dantata Bridge on Airport Road in Abuja with placards and banners. They also set tires on fire on the expressway. The protesters were later dispersed by heavily armed policemen. Farida Fasasi, the widow of late Nigerian music star Sound Sultan, has celebrated him on what would have been their 12th anniversary. The mother of three took to her Instagram page on Friday, October 1st, 2021, where she celebrated the music star. She wrote, "The song Love Language is a testament of our decision to weather the storm together above our tribe, thongs, and religion. Death has separated us, but in my heart, you are irreplaceable. I love you always and forever. Happy 12 years anniversary, baby." The singer passed away on Sunday, July 11, at the age of 44 after battling throat cancer. In another news, Big Brother Naija star Boma and former housemate Tega Dominic husband Ajabo hung out last night, September 30th. Boma and Tega made news after they had an amorous affair while in the Big Brother Naija house and were criticized by viewers of the show. While some dragged Tega for being with a man older than her husband, others slammed Boma for having an affair with a married woman. However, weeks after the pair were evicted from the show, Boma and Tega's husband, Ajabo, were all smiles as they hung out with businessman Ube Franklin and another former housemate, J. Paul. Finally, on entertainment news, Nollywood veteran Regina Asker has bought a house in the United States of America. She wrote, "Big news, this has indeed been a September to remember. A lovely manure for me by me." Asker was one of the on-screen divas of the late 90s after her acting debut in the then popular NTA series Fortune as Tokumba Justin, a role which earned her critical acclaim. The 53-year-old is now a family nurse practitioner in New York, where she resides with a husband of almost 17 years, Rodolph Williams, whom she shares 2 children with, a daughter, Tessa Olympia, and son, Rodolph Jr. Regina has another daughter, Stephanie Honecker, from a previous relationship. Happy Independence Day to Nigerians, and that'll be all on entertainment news.
And with that, we conclude our news at this time. But for more updates and latest news, visit our website at www.galaxytvonline.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GalaxyTV Nigeria. You can follow or interact with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GalaxyTV. Don't forget to follow and tag us on our Instagram page at Official Galaxy TV. If you have breaking news around you, you can avail our eyewitness feature via WhatsApp. Simply share your story by sending short clips or videos of the news on 0818-666-669. Our social media platforms are user-friendly and can always accommodate your life update and comment. And that's your Galaxy TV News at this time. On behalf of the production team and everyone here, thank you so much for your company. We urge you to please keep safe. I am Kelly Egiga, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.